Hey everybody, my name's Ben, we are the Beard Guys, and welcome back to another Rust console video. Today we are going to have a quick look at the progress of the latest update for Rust on console, seeing what bugs have been fixed, what new issues have been caused, and what we can expect to see in the next updates coming over the next few weeks. I'm also going to discuss why I am frustrated with how Double 11 have gone about pushing out the latest patch and why it feels like they're making life much more difficult for themselves than it really needs to be. So update 1.03 went out on Friday evening last week for Xbox, with the PlayStation update due to come soon after. This update was intended to fix a number of bugs, including the 5-second freezes on some Xbox consoles, issues with ladders, the team system and spawn points, as well as invisible skins and crashes and missing skins that players had purchased by pre-ordering the game. I played a few hours of Rust over the weekend on my Xbox Series X after this update went out, and it did seem like all of these issues had been resolved for me. I saw no freezes, no invisible players, nor did I see any game crashes. Unfortunately, a lot of players did see a sharp increase in the amount of game crashes occurring, particularly whilst joining a server, and whilst it's unclear whether this is related to specific platforms or specific servers and exactly what percentage of the player base has been affected, it's fair to say it certainly hit a good number of players. Double 11 have acknowledged these issues with a series of tweets on Friday and Saturday, and then followed up by saying that a hotfix has been submitted for certification late on Saturday. Hopefully we should see this update going live in the next day or so. For those not up to scratch on the lingo, platform certification is basically where the developer has finished the update they want to release, and it then has to be submitted to Microsoft or Sony, who will then carry out their own tests before giving it the okay for releasing it into production. And it's the manner of the release that has me most frustrated about the whole situation. Now, before I moan about all of this, I'd like to caveat it by saying that this is all my take from an outside perspective, and there'll be plenty of bits of information that we simply do not know and will not know that influence the decisions that the devs make. What I am going to do is offer my take on how things look from the outside, speaking as someone who spent over a decade working in software development, managing production releases of a multitude of high-risk and high-value products. So what frustrates me most about the 1.03 release? It's not the fact that bugs were introduced that caused issues for the players. These things aren't desirable, but they can happen, and all you can do is fix them and learn from the experience. What does frustrate and confuse me is why Double 11 are pushing out non-critical releases on a Friday night. If I had asked to push out a release on a Friday evening at pretty much any company I ever worked for that wasn't absolutely business critical, then I rightly would have been laughed out of the room. When you release into production, you want maximum availability of support in case of any issues that arise that affect your live service, meaning your full contingent of staff are on hand for a good amount of time. This means not releasing at the end of the working day, not releasing on a Friday before the weekend, and this is why you often see devs pushing out updates for software, for websites, for apps, and for games midweek in the mornings. Now, perhaps Double 11 has all of their staff working 24 hours a day and over the weekend as standard, but what feels most likely is that they've had to have a handful of their normal amount of devs putting in overtime to deal with the emergency issues that arose from 1.03. It seems mad to me that they didn't just hold off releasing the update until Monday morning, which could then have allowed for any issues that arose to have their full attention for an entire working day, very likely speeding up the process of resolving any problems and also not forcing the team to work through the night and weekend when it feels completely unnecessary to put them in that position. I realize that the patch was with Microsoft for certification and it only passed this on Friday, but I find it hard to believe that the developer is not allowed to then choose their own release time and date once the cert process is complete. My concern here is that the devs are feeling pressured by the community to rush things out, which is causing more problems than it is solving. The Rust console Discord has tons of 011 staff in it, and I honestly think this is a really bad idea. The devs don't need to be sitting there seeing pages of people moaning about crashes and throwing abuse at them. The community managers can read this feedback and filter back anything of value to the team in a useful way. The rest of the dev team should be making decisions that they feel are best for the game based on their expertise and knowledge, rather than feeling the need to release things at risky times. As I mentioned earlier, this is all from an outside perspective, and there are often good reasons for seemingly bad decisions, but I would really love to see 011 stop doing live releases at insane times. And whilst I know that game devs, much like YouTubers, have to have a thick skin and get pretty used to having abuse thrown at them every day, I'd like the team to reconsider how many of their staff is really necessary to have on the Rust console Discord and whether there's any value in them really being there, both because of how it might affect their decision making and prioritization, and also for their own mental well-being. As for what we can expect over the coming weeks, the devs have confirmed that the skin store will be coming with update 1.04, and whilst we don't have the details yet on exactly what else will be in this update, we are expecting to see it arrive over the next couple of weeks. So that's enough of my ranting and raving for today. I'm having a brilliant time playing Rust and absolutely loving playing the game and loving making content for it for you all to enjoy. I have my frustrations with how some things have been handled, but I have faith that 011 can get back on top of things and get the stability and performance of the game up to a standard we're all happy with. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. We've got plenty of Rust console tips videos already out, plus loads more in the works. So if you did enjoy it, then make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. My name's Ben, we are the Beard Guys, and I'll see you next time.